a guy who has like, let's say, perfect game, which is just theoretical, because even if you're the tallest, best looking guy, there's still going to be some girls that are just like, yeah, he's not my type. I go for black guys or whatever. Theoretically, it would be like you would approach a bunch of girls. You would either get their phone number or you would get an Instafuck, and like the funnel would basically just go like you would approach a whole bunch of girls, and it would go down to getting you lays. But everybody, I mean, the reason we're improving game is because sometimes the funnel, it kind of like constricts or bottlenecks, and so you get like holes in your game. And some guys have problems with just the approach. Some guys have problems in their comfort game. Some guys have problems once they get the girl back to their house, then they don't know where to take the interaction. So it's really what we're doing is trying to fix like every part of your game so that your game is theoretically seamless, and you could just basically approach a whole bunch of girls and end up fucking some of them.
Okay,
But
I feel like let me tell you where I find myself in your scheme.
so it seems like that your approach game, for example, you're getting, you're doing better than most guys, which is like they'll approach and they don't get nothing. So like you're getting like at least into the funnel where you're getting a new lead, like you're getting an Instagram, you're getting her Facebook, or you're getting her phone number, and then you're moving to text game, and then it seems like you're
I'm getting killed in somewhere in between here and getting a date.
right on about here, right? Like
Yeah.
between your text game and then getting the girl to actually meet up. So it's like, I don't know, what did I write? Funnel has constricted and or bottlenecked. You can approach a number close, but you can't advance to the first date. This means your text and or phone game needs improvement. So it's
I'll
like
tell you one thing. I don't have any phone game. Like I never call these girls ever. Maybe that's a problem.
texting, I think, is easier, and it's good to meet up. Sometimes I would like to just call them sometimes, and I'll just be like, I mean, when I do, I don't stay on the phone. I use
Uh-huh.
like the phone and the text just basically for logistics, to kind of be setting up the date, because I don't want to spend half an hour or an hour on the phone with her, because I'm not her boyfriend. I'm not trying to be her boyfriend, or I'm not trying to just feed her attention and validation. Like I'm not her girlfriend. I want to get this girl over to my house and fuck her. So definitely usually when I'll call her, it'll be kind of like, hey, what's up? Oh, hey, this is Ryan. We met last night at the club. I just wanted to touch base and say what's up. It was cool meeting you. And she's like, oh, cool. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm just over here working. And I say, yeah, well, I'm super busy. I got work today, but I'd love to meet up and grab a coffee sometime. And she'll say, oh, okay, cool. And it's kind of like when you have her on the phone like that, you kind of have her cornered, because, with a text, she could always ignore it. Now when I'm on
Uh-huh.
the phone, like, she kind of has to give me like a yes or no. She's either going to say, oh, well, I'm busy too, or I have a boyfriend or whatever, or she's
Yeah.
gonna be like, yeah, sure, and then I can kind of just give her a time.
Okay. So yeah, I like that conversation. So hey, we met at the bar last night. It was like super cool to meet you, and I just wanted to call and say what's up. How's your day going? Oh, it's so nice to meet you too. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, well, I'm super really busy right now. I don't even have a lot of time, but you were on my mind, and I was thinking maybe we should get a coffee. So I'm free next Tuesday, maybe after work. Does that work? Yeah, I'll see you there. Peace. Whatever, something like that.
So yeah, yeah.
And
I mean, relax a little bit. But
uh,
yeah, that's the general idea. Because then now you're setting up a date. You're letting her know like you're not the only girl I'm talking to. You're not like the center of my life or my universe. I'm not infatuated with you. I have my own life. I'm busy. I've got a job. I've got my friends. But you're just kind of like, hey, what's up? It was cool meeting you, and we should hang out sometime. And if she says yes, then like you said, yeah, we could grab a coffee on Tuesday, or we could get drinks. And you don't even have to really solidify the plans as basically saying, oh, we're going to meet up at Starbucks on 51st and Main at such and such a time. You could just touch base with her and say, yeah, let's grab a drink or coffee or whatever on Tuesday. She says okay, and then at that point, then you can text her afterwards, like let's say on Monday night, to kind of like give her a confirmation text and basically
uh,
be like, hey, are we still on for tomorrow? And then she
uh,
says, yeah, sure. And then basically the next morning or Tuesday, whatever, then you can kind of say, yeah, let's meet up at this Starbucks or whatever, or Coffee Bean or wherever you're going to go to, or you might call her again and be like, yeah, we want to grab coffee, or you want to grab, I know a really cool bar by myself if you want to get a drink. You might make an excuse. Yeah, it was a really long day at work today or yesterday, but like, yeah, I need a drink. Come have like let's get pina coladas at this cool bar that I know, or um, do you like daiquiris, or are you a rum drinker? Anything like that, where she's like, oh yeah, that sounds fun. And then
Oh, okay.
now you've been really good at finding these cool bars like that ski lodge place that you took me to. So I I really think you should add that into your game, where you could be like, yeah, I know a really cool bar. Nobody even knows about this. It's in the Cosmopolitan inside the convention center or something, and it's like a ski lodge theme. I don't know if you like that. And she might be like, okay, that's cool. And like
Uh-huh.
taking her to these cool bar, like when you took me to that rooftop bar the other day, like these these places that not like so many people know about, and also if you're I noticed that you've been really good at starting to meet the host and getting yourself on the guest list, by saying, "Oh yeah, we can go. I was going to go to this place anyway. If you want to tag along, I'm on the guest list." Because now you're I like framing it like that too. Sometimes I've taken girls to like get ice cream at the mall, but the
Uh-huh.
way that I frame it is like, I'll say, I was going to go. What did I say? Like triple chocolate fudge is the flavor of the month at Haagen-Dazs. I was going to go check it out if you want to tag along. Now I'm kind
Ah.
of, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm not kind of like, oh, do you want to go on a date? I'm not, I'm not framing it as it's something special. It's just like, hey, I was already doing this. Why don't you
Uh,
tag along? Because then I'm still making myself look like the leader, and I'm kind of like, I'm saying, hey, I have my own life, and I'm going to do this, but you would be a compliment in my life to come join me. But
yes.
if you don't want to, that's fine too. I'll be good, right?
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
always just call another girl to replace you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I like that.
So yeah, I guess we gotta really kind of focus on this part right here. Uh, Phone text game
Okay,
and
so here's another thing. Here's
request
another.
game.
Right, but it also is like I feel like on a certain level, maybe when I'm making the initial approach, maybe I don't think the problem is also maybe it's my texting is bad, but I think maybe it's also that my interactions are I'm not building enough attraction, and maybe I feel like I'm being like too friendly or too like friend to friend, or that I'm a little concerned about that. So I want to just bring that to your attention as well.
Hmm.
Like I wonder, like, yeah, maybe they're not texting me back because like maybe they only gave me their number because they felt like it was the easiest way to end the conversation. You know what I mean? Like I
Right, like
so,
the polite. I'll give you my phone numbers to get rid of this guy.
yeah.
So then that would be kind of saying like, if she's not even giving you a phone number, then it's kind of saying that your attraction game has some holes in it.
Right. No, I get the phone numbers, but I'm saying like I just wonder if like maybe I feel like the leads are should be warmer, or like maybe like I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong that I don't necessarily realize I'm doing, and I'm like winding up with like shitty leads, like
She's
leads that
giving
have
you like a flaky number.
yeah. I feel like I have a lot of flaky leads maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, I feel like maybe that's getting a little better recently, but still, I mean, like I haven't been on a lot of like day twos recently, and I mean, for what it's worth. I mean, not that I put in a lot of effort. Like it's just been more like I've been trying to go like really, I mean, for what it's worth, and focus on like just like going out and like going out a lot and just like seeing what's out there and like trying to make things happen right then and there. But like, it's not necessarily super organized, I have to admit. And then, like, sometimes I meet the girls and then they're leaving the next day and, like, I forgot. It's hard to keep track of them. You gotta try to, like, make a little note in your phone, like, when you meet them, like, you could write a little, like, one liner or some stupid shit. Anyway, so, I mean, it's the things I can do like that certainly can help. But, um, I don't know. I mean, I just, like, I don't know. Maybe if you like when you see me, because I mean, yeah, you said like, hey, you're leaning in, you're pecking your head, like, I feel like there's so many different little things I do, and it's hard to like even like know which is the right. I don't want to feel like a robot, like constricted. I want to be relaxed and cool, But I feel like when I'm too cool, then I start like doing like extra stupid shit. Like, it's like hard to like strike that balance for me.
Yeah, so think of it like, yeah, because I've been out with you in the field a lot, and I noticed that you peck in a lot, or you're like, I call it like being a space invader, and you're kind of like invading her space. Where it's like sometimes you'll be like right up in her grill, or I think we were talking last time with like the music. The music is so loud in the club, and you psychologically feel if I get a little closer, then she'll hear me. But
Yeah, it's totally,
this
it's
this
totally,
much
it's totally, yeah,
different. doesn't make
like that.
any difference acoustically.
Yeah, that's the funny thing.
Like if I'm talking to you like this, or I'm talking to you like this, it's exactly the same. It
Right.
doesn't make any difference, other than the fact that now I'm all up in your grill, and it's going to make you kind of just jump back. It's just
Yeah,
a
one was
physiological
one.
reaction.
Yeah, one is what lesser value is clear.
Mhm. So that, like, I know you definitely need to work on that, and it's just like a lot of the positioning too. I think also just kind of becoming more sure of yourself, more confident, where you're like, as you're talking to her, sometimes you're kind of hunched over, or you're kind of like you're making kind of fidgety movements or something for no reason, rather than just being the cool guy and leaning back and just talking to her. And
I
that's
know
good.
it's a bad. It's just I've had that problem literally since childhood. It's not even about girls. It's just like who I am. No, I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to
Think about it like
justify
this,
it.
like the way you're saying, like I don't want to be a robot. It's just if you keep doing the same thing, eventually your body will adapt to that, and that will just become the new. You'll just be that guy who naturally talks smooth like that. If I showed you old videos of myself like 20 years ago before a game, I did the same thing. I couldn't make eye contact with people, and I was like awkward until I just did it so much. Now it's just me. That's just how Ryan is. That's just how I operate. But I learned those things, and they became integrated and became a part of me.
Okay, well, thank you for putting out such a relatable story.
Again, it kind of comes to here, like you're either getting the number or you're not, and you already know this. If you're not, then you're going back and you're opening more sets, and you're just kind of continuing this loop until eventually you get some girl to say yes and give you a number, and of course then she's a new lead. And I think this is what we were talking about last time, is when you were saying, like, how do I do the callbacks? Now I have 20 phone numbers, and at this point what I like to do is usually the next day I like to get up and, like, I get I get a cup of coffee, and then I feel like I'm sitting at an office and I'm doing like a job, and I'm going to say, like, okay, for 1 hour I'm going to call back each of these girls and almost say basically the same thing. Hey, what's up? Hey, this Jessica? Yeah, this is Ryan. I met you at the club last night. Yeah, we should grab some drinks or something this week. And after I'm done with her, then I go on to the next girl. Hey, is this Julie? Hey, Julie, what's up? We met at the club last night. You're just doing callbacks like a salesman, and eventually kind of
Mhm.
just saying, out of those 20 numbers, maybe 10 of them, like you said, some of them might be flaky. Some of them maybe my game wasn't so tight or so on point. And now, or she kicks up the next day and she's sober and she's like, oh, I don't remember this guy. And oh, I do have a boyfriend and I can't believe I gave this guy my number. And she might make an excuse, or she might not even answer the phone. So 10 of those girls, they don't even answer the phone, or they give me a bullshit excuse. But then the other girls, maybe they're interested in meeting up, but who knows, like, how interested in me they are. So maybe 2 out of the 10 girls seem super DTF, and on that phone game, now the girls, I could tell she really wants to meet up, and that's where basically I'm either going to go kind of into this dating cycle where ideally I'd like to take her on a private date and invite her straight back to my house, and then it's either sex or no sex. And if it's not, then I'm going back into basically phone game in the dating cycle to try to get her back over to my house the next night until I do get the sex to convert her basically into retention, and whether I want to keep her as an ongoing thing, which would lead into like relationship management, or if I'm just like, okay, that was fun. Now I want to go back to watching football. Then I ghost her. And of course, then I go back to the club, and then I can open more sets and build more leads. But ideally, like, a lot of those girls, sometimes you'll be texting them kind of like the girl that you're at right now. It's like you're at this point in the game and you're trying to get her to meet up for that first date, whether you guys are going to meet in public, like if you're going to go have a dinner, or you're going to have a coffee or drinks, or are you going to get her straight back to your mansion and then like put the moves on her here. So I does that make sense?
Yeah, man, I feel like I know it's good. I like your schemes, not schemes, but like your schematics.
Schemes.